Sports Mania, we are back with the transfer special. And the best thing is, we have a panel. The second best thing is, we are live. Nothing can go wrong here. Hit the intro, Austin.
Priceless gem!
Yes, we are live with the transfer special. Hello to everyone watching and listening to us. Well, let's start by introducing the panel. As I said, it's all live, so everything anyone says will be here forever.
Exactly,
Hello, producer
raw and
Austin.
unedited.
Yes. Producer Austin, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you, Hubert?
Very good, fantastic. Abdi, how are you?
I'm good, my man. How you doing?
Excellent. And George, how's it going, my friend?
Yeah, right. It kind of went a bit wrong during the intro. I dropped my phone already, so Peter, the camera would have gone flying.
Could be worse, mate. Could be worse, trust me.
Another thing, we've got such a miserable sounding producer. Come on, Austin, have a word. He sounded like Stan Kroenke when he was in the boardroom and got told that arse had to spend money.
Hello, Sportsmania.
Okay. Let's see if our contributor can do a better job. He's made a debut on the podcast. He's now making a debut on our YouTube channel. Matt, how's it going?
I am very good, thank you. Hello to you all. I hope you're all well. Had a bit of a manic Monday, didn't we, with the deadline day? So let's hope it goes a bit better today.
Yes, well, definitely manic Monday with the transfers. There's been plenty of dealings. Let's start with probably one club that people thought would headline this transfer window because they suddenly got a lot of money. And I'm talking, of course, Abdi, about Newcastle United. They've spent a little bit of money. That's fair to say, isn't it?
Just a tad. Nothing major, nothing extravagant. But yeah, no, they first transfer window under the new ownership. What do you expect? They were going to go big. They want to survive in the Premier League. If they're spending this kind of money when they're threatened with relegation, imagine the kind of money that they can spend and the players that they can bring in once Premier League survival is assured and another season in the Prem in the bank. So yeah, they've brought in some of the names enough to be sneezed at. I feel like they've made some shrewd signings. You know, Kieran Trippier was linked with Man United last summer. So, but yeah, they brought him in from Atletico Madrid, who are a Champions League club, and he won La Liga with them last year. So, fair play for them to try and bring him in. They brought in Matt Targett. They were trying to get Lucas Digne from Everton before he went to Villa. We'll get into that in a bit, but it's smart how they use that to then bring in Matt Targett from Villa to Newcastle on loan. So as he was going to be the first choice, they're like, you know what, we'll take the other one then. So yeah, Bruno Guimaraes from, what was it, Lyon? Arsenal linked with him. Didn't work out. They couldn't get him. They were probably waiting for the summer, but he took some digs at them in the little video that they prepared for him when they announced him. So we'll see how he adapts. I feel like that'll be a good signing, but I haven't seen him play. So I can't speak too much on it. Dan Burn, Geordie boy, coming back. One of the Seagulls' best players in the last few weeks. So fair play on trying to snap him up as well. And Chris Wood from Burnley for 25 million. You wouldn't expect that, but I feel like Burnley got the better end of the deal, and we'll get into Burnley later on as well. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, for now, Newcastle, they've had a busy window and a decent one at that.
I mean, the one question I have, Matt, really on this one is, we all said Newcastle, buying their way out of relegation. But the argument that was always thrown around is, buying your way out of relegation doesn't always work. And I mean, with the players Newcastle have gotten, I mean, it's difficult to tell until we actually see them play. But do you think with the players they've got on paper, do you think they will now stay up, or do you think it's far from guaranteed?
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting one to watch because, on one hand, they have spent money on a lot of players coming in. Some of them don't know the league, like Bruno Guimaraes. I'm going to pronounce that horribly wrong, so I apologise if you know how to pronounce it. I do not. We can just call him Bruno G, just for short. I think that's the best way to
We all
say
have
it.
nicknames for players here, don't worry.
Yeah. You got Kieran Trippier, who's coming back from his stint in Spain. They've got some. Okay, they've spent a bit of money, oddly, on Chris Wood, and they got Dan Burn. So they got some Premier League proven players, but it's going to take time for them to all come together and form cohesion together, which might be their undoing. A couple of years ago, I can't remember exactly when, but QPR went out and they spent over 100 million on about 11, 12 players, something like around that sort of line, and then they got relegated straight back down to the Championship because of it. So you've got to find this balance, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Newcastle team over the next couple of weeks.
I think Fulham done a similar thing recently as well when they came up, spent over 100 mil and then went straight back down.
Yes, it's always one of these things. You spent a lot of money and you never know what's going to happen. I mean, George, they bought Trippier, good signing. You've got Dan Burn, Matt Target, and then Bruno over there, Bruno G. But Chris Wood, it's a tricky one because of one reason probably they bought Chris Wood is to weaken Burnley, their relegation rivals, and then the other one was obviously because they needed a striker. But Chris Wood has a very specific style of playing. Do you think he'll fit in at Newcastle?
Yeah. I personally think when Callum Wilson comes back, Chris Wood is a backup to him anyway. That's what all Newcastle fans are saying. But I think the Kiwi Haaland will do all right, to be fair. Obviously, them balls that Trippier is going to cross in. I think Wood will get about... I'm not saying he's going to go and score 20 goals, because I don't know, because I'm not Chris Wood. I think if they're going to stay up, it'll be because of Chris Wood, if Callum Wilson don't come back from injury really quick. Some of their signings have been good. Like, obviously, Dan Burn, like Abdi said, he's been one of Brighton's best players. Trippier, you know what you're getting with him. Bruno, whatever you want to say, Guimaraes, whatever. He decent player. Shows he don't have much class for his digs. I don't know why you're mentioning Arsenal. Focus on the club that you're actually moving to. Maybe that's how massive we are. Live rent-free in these people's heads. But and then, well, technically they got their target man, didn't they? So
I like that. They got their target man. Good pun there. Austin, what's your view on Newcastle's transfers? I mean, they've not bought any Bournemouth players, which is makes a nice change.
No, bought them already.
They bought all of them already. But yeah, do you what's your view on Newcastle's transfer situation? They were thought to have been buying a lot of players, and they've done exactly what people expected them to.
I expected it, to be fair. Obviously, with them being classed as the richest club in the Premier League now. The Kieran Trippier signing was good, I must admit, a very good signing there. Bruno G, as we're going to call him, that was a good signing there from Lyon. Obviously, there was the rumours, I don't know if it did go ahead, but with Jesse Lingard, did that go ahead?
No,
it didn't.
Man United
No, it didn't. Yeah, but that would have been an interesting signing from Newcastle for Jesse Lingard. I do admit, with Jesse Lingard and Kieran Trippier on the same team as well, that could have formed something good. So yeah, they've done well with their signings for January.
Lingard weren't allowed to come out and play. That was all. He was nearly allowed, and I was like, "Oh, it's half term, Jesse." Oh no, sorry, yeah. You've got too much homework. You've got to stay in. Do it next week. Season.
We've had a comment from Carlos saying yes, but the money was too much.
The money for who?
For who? What
Cheers
money?
for listening,
money for
Carlos. As
Thank
well.
you, Carlos.
Thanks for listening. Maybe he's talking about Bruno G. Maybe
40 million?
million.
Or 33, around there. I mean, Newcastle's got the cash to burn. Lyon had their price, so you know.
But on that, it's French clubs, though, isn't it? Like, It's not going to be the first time, and it won't be the last time that a French club has put a valuation on a player that plays in the Premier League that is way over the top. No names, Nicolas Pepe.
And also in the modern standards, is that fee too high these days for that quality play?
I don't know. Like what's like it's so deflated. What's a decent value for a player and what isn't? Like
it's difficult to tell these days.
I just said, like Pepe, 72 million. You're telling me that's no? And you got
30 million. 30 million back in the day would have got you Rio Ferdinand. So 30 million gets you in today's market. You can get Dan James for that price. So
that's it all. Right.
No disrespect to Dan James. I love DJ.
Just in case Dan James is watching.
Hello, Dan James, if you are watching. Right, we'll move on to the next club. And they have had a very good transfer window. They've not only got some new players, Matt, but they also got a new manager, Everton. Frank Lampard at the wheel with some new players.
He'll be sat next week. You said that now.
Stop with the wheels.
Yeah.
No one should have a wheel.
This will be a really interesting one to watch. Obviously, we've had some top Premier League legends over the past couple of years become managers now from everywhere. Some of them started out in the Scottish League, some of them started out in the Championship, some of them come in straight ahead into the Premier League. It'll be an interesting one to see how he does. I'm actually fortunate enough to go to the FA Cup game against Brentford, so that will be a real test to see how it is with Dele Alli and I'm going to forget the other one now.
Donny van der Beek.
Donny van der Beek.
Not anymore.
In the team. It'll be interesting to see how that lines up with the Everton as well, especially with some quite quality midfielders. Anthony Gordon, who will probably end up being their young player of the season. He will probably thrive to learn from both of them. And perhaps he might be looked towards playing more on the wings than inside as the attacking midfielder now. So it'll be an interesting one to watch. And I think with both of them both having some Premier League experience, probably Donny will end up getting a lot more out of it than he was if he was just to stay at Manchester United. No offense to Abdi.
I do not take any offence whatsoever. I want him to be free and get a chance to play.
Someone had to free him.
Exactly.
Who's that?
Donny.
Who's that? Oh, sorry, Donny van der Beek.
Yeah, Donny had to be freed, Abdi.
For Man United.
He did.
He's finally gonna probably get some Premier League some game time, which is what he wanted at United. He never got it. Well, not regularly anyway. Palace were in for him, but in the end, Everton offered the better side of things. Do you think Donny will do well at United? Do you think that what happened at
Everton?
Yeah, sorry, Everton. Yeah, but do you think what happened at United?
I hope he does well at United.
No.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. He's never really been given a chance to sort of prove himself, and that's why this loan move is more telling to see what kind of player Donny van der Beek will be in the Premier League. And given the right chance and the right run of games, it's easy to say, he's had decent performance from one or two games. You can't really judge off a long stretch of games like that. You need more of a sample size than just one or two games in a block of 3 months or something. So I'll be very interested to see how Donny fits in at Everton and if he's given the best chance to play and actually build up a career of somewhat. I'll be keeping a close eye on that one.
It'll be interesting to see, because then if he does really well at Everton, and comes back to United, will he get then, more game time? Hopefully, you'd hope so.
It's a straight loan, so there's no buy option. So he will be back at United. So hopefully he can go prove himself at Everton, come back, by then we should have a new manager, and see how the new manager fancies him. If the new manager doesn't fancy him, then he could probably leave at that point. But you'd like to see him at least get a chance, because the last 2 years have been a waste of his career, pretty much, and a waste of potential and talent. So you'd like to see him flourish at United, really, and get the money's worth from him. Because when he was at Ajax, he was a top player, and he was part of that sort of generation that made it to the Champions League semi-final. Probably should have made it to the final, but things happen like that. And maybe the potential managerial appointment of Erik ten Hag could change things for him at United. So you never know, but we'll just have to wait and see with Donny.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. It'd be quite interesting. George, when it comes to Dele Alli, I mean,
I knew you were going to come to me about that.
You know what I'm going to do. He had, 1 or 2 good seasons at Tottenham many moons ago. Barcelona were linked with him at one point, and he was linked with all the other clubs. Then he absolutely dropped off a cliff for most of the time. But, he's at Everton now. Is it what he needs to kind of, wake up again and restart his football career? Find the Dele Alli of the old days, of the few seasons ago.
Yes, I think his career at Tottenham was dead, really. Especially he had, I think from when Pochettino went, I don't think that since after that, to be fair. He could do decent with Everton. I think it's like Abdi said, though. He's going to need. Luckily, he's on a permanent, isn't he? So. So yeah. He's got a chance to rebuild his career at Everton. So it's really hard because obviously he played for them lot, and I really hated them lot and hated him at the time. But I think the Chicken Deli store will do alright at Everton, to be fair. It's kind of what they need. I don't know, maybe you'll see the Dele Alli that it was before, and unfortunately might break back into the England squad, but there you go.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, Austin, when it comes to Everton, they also bought Luca Digne from. No,
they didn't. They sold him.
Actually, they sold Luca Digne. Do you think that'd be a big miss for them as a player? Because the problem is, under Rafa, they obviously fell out. He, fell out of favour there, but he was a quality player, and not being there, do you think that's going to have a huge impact on Everton, or do you think with the players they have, they'll be able to still, keep themselves up in the table? Because, some people have already put them in the relegation battle potential.
Yes. I don't think it'll make a big impact. I personally think with the players they've signed, they still have a chance of staying up there. Like we were saying with Dele Alli, obviously we hope, or I say we hope, but obviously he could come back and play for Everton. He could come and play for Everton, and he could play like how he was playing, like we said 2-3 years ago, whatever. Same with Donny van der Beek, or whatever his name is. I can never say his name right. He could be, all right, Donny. We'll call him Donny. So yeah, that could also, with them two. Plus, obviously, you had Billy Crellin from Fleetwood Town. He came in as well. That was an
that's impressive.
Wow.
Where did you read that?
I do my research. I
was told.
I have to hold my hands up. Sorry, this is live, but that is fucking impressive.
That is pretty impressive. None of us have actually thought about that.
When you said Billy, I thought, oh no, he's going to say Billy Gilmore or something.
Yeah, I thought as well.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
You know what? Fair play, mate. I will give you that. So you have. But from when you was a bit ridiculous, admitting that you sported Spurs for 50 quid, just in case no one saw the last video, I will put that out there. But Billy, what's his name? Corella, DeVille, whatever his name is.
Billy Crellin from Fleetwood Town.
I didn't even know he played for Fleetwood.
In the comments, sorry, I'm just going to say it for everyone. So John Guna has said, footballers going to Everton never resurrect their careers. Look at Walcott and Iwobi.
Nice to see you, John.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point, but you never know. Let's hope, because Dele Alli's still young.
One thing I will say is that Tottenham should be investigated by Scotland Yard because apparently that is going to rise up due to things for 40 million. Like,
it is for free at the moment. At the moment, it is a free deal. To be fair.
Yeah, but if that goes up to 40 million, that's got to be the biggest fraud case in the world.
Scam.
40 million for Dele Alli.
Like, yeah, that is.
Even
Right.
Dominic Littlewood thought that was a bit.
Nah, they got their business done. You know, they brought him in for what, $1 million. So you know,
I mean,
however much it was, and they made what 39 million.
You can't say that goes up to 40 million for Dele Alli. What he's been recently, that is a huge rip-off. That's nearly as bad as
It is risk.
Newcastle.
It is a big risk, though.
You had that Anwar El Ghazi, whatever his name is, as well from.
He's pulling about today, isn't he?
Wow.
He came in on loan, didn't he?
I actually think that's a decent signing.
And then you had Nathan Patterson as well. Yeah. He came in for a permanent deal.
Are you sure you don't support
Everton? Really love him.
He's odd form. Good old producer Austin here.
So, like, you know,
he's a bit.
I have. It's because of it, like, yeah, but it's a couple of interesting signings.
Nice to see you in the comments, John. Keep the comments flowing.
Absolutely, keep the chat busy.
John has said that Dele Alli was worth £5.
Yeah, I agree, John.
At one point, he probably was.
That's optimistic.
I will show that comment because that is a very.
That's a proper gooner talking. None of this. If he gets his talent back, no one cares. Dele Alli. I say Dele Alli and Frank Lampard are going to elevate Everton. Enjoy the championship.
I like that, John. Nice one.
It's a good comment there. I mean, at one point he was definitely worth that little price tag. Yes. To be fair. Talking of Tottenham, though, I mean, they don't have the best transfer window, Matt. You know, they've had a few goings out. They've got, you know, that Juventus duo, which well, be honest with you, I don't know much about, but
lasagna and bolognese.
Yeah,
lasagna.
But yeah, what's your view on the Matt? You
know, so Krujowski, I'm going to get this horribly wrong.
He's done better than me.
He's actually.
I thought his name was Kolosky.
No, it was the position I was more worried about than his last name.
Kulusevski, Dejan Kulusevski.
I think he's a winger, not a central midfielder.
I thought it was Kolosky, so
no.
No idea.
Yeah, it's a weird one to see your best your rivals do better than you in a window, and to bring in two really good up and coming talents. Bentancur's a brilliant player. He's I would almost describe him as he's a very versatile central midfielder. He can do what you want him to do. If you want him to be a defensive midfielder, he'll do that job. If you want him to be box and box, he'll do that job. If you want him to be the guy passing the ball around, he'll do that job for you as well. So they've got two good players there, and I think it came together. One was a loan, wasn't it? And the other one was straight buy. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how them two work, because they'll know each other quite well. So maybe that would be their plan, is to have them on the same side as each other, so that they can get to know their teammates a little bit better.
Yeah, there'll be interesting signings because, you know, unless you follow European football very closely, you won't know too much about them. So it'd be interesting to watch how they'll play. Abdi, I mean, you know, they had a few goings. I mean, Brian Hill has left. Didn't really get to see him much at Tottenham.
I need like someone out of Big Bang Theory or something.
Has Ndombele
looks like Howard?
Ndombele has gone, yes, as well.
Yeah,
yes,
he's gone as
I
well.
So
that one you'd think kind of had to happen, really.
Yeah. So
you're thinking,
Brian Hill.
You're thinking of
Go on.
Sorry, Abdi. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Sorry, George, with Brian Hill, you're thinking of Howard Wolowitz off of Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what was I trying to say? Brian Hill, yes. I can't remember where they bought him from, but they brought him in it was Sevilla. Sevilla. They had a swap deal with Eric Lamela. So he never really got a chance to shine. So I haven't seen too much of him, to be fair. And I've seen him mainly on the bench for Spurs. So
for him,
they probably. Sorry.
For him to go to Valencia though on a loan transfer is not bad.
No, it's not. It's not. And then there's loaned out Lo Celso to Villarreal as well. So Lo Celso got a good deal because he upgraded from Conference League to exiting to Champions League. So fair play to him. Biggest winner of the transfer window for him, really. And Ndombele had to go because it was pretty much terminal for him. It just wasn't working out, and he went back home to Lyon, where they originally bought him from.
That was only a loan, wasn't it?
Which one? And yeah, I think it's a loan of a buy option. I think there is a buy option.
There was a loan fee of, if I can remember,
there's always a loan fee.
1.28 mil.
No, it wasn't. It was 8 million. It was a loan fee. They had to pay 8 million, and the option to buy is the exact same price that they sold him for.
Lyon done well for themselves, though. To be fair, they lost Bruno G and brought in Ndombele, and they brought another fella from Brest, Romain Favre or something. So yeah, they upgraded their midfield. So fair play to them.
I mean, George, looking at Tottenham, they certainly got more players out than in. Do you think that will weaken them? I mean, you'd probably think their players will strengthen the team a bit, but the players they have lost, I mean, and Ndombele didn't really bring much. Neither did Brian Hill because he didn't get much of a chance. So, would you say Tottenham have been weakened or not really by the outgoings in this current window?
You always come to me about them, lot, don't you? Like,
I let everyone have a chance to say.
He gives everyone an equal opportunity.
Exactly.
Well, we are talking about Tottenham, to be fair. So
there's a good question for later on there. Sorry, go on.
So, I think one reason I think they are weakened, but they're not as weakened as teams we'll mention later, just because of the two they've brought in. But they're still squad players. I mean, it's right saying, they don't play, but if there's injuries, they would. So, and Ndombele has played a couple of games for Spurs, to be honest, in the last few weeks. So, Brian Hill, whatever they want to call him,
Brian Gill.
It was quite good for Sevilla, and when the Spanish football I used to watch. So I'm surprised that it didn't really. Well, I said it didn't. Well, he didn't really get a chance, did he? So don't know. Tottenham have still got a good few players that make them weak. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how the two Juve twins do that they brought in, but you're not going to get much else from me from that. I still have hope that they're going to get relegated, but
not this season, my friend. Not this season.
No, not this one.
I mean, if it does, it'll be quite a show, but I don't think it's even mathematically possible.
So that's Daniel. I'll give credit, and I can't believe I'm going to say it, but Daniel Levy knows how to get money out of people.
Now, see, that is a big shock, that one.
That's lying as well. That's stuck on the internet.
At the same
time,
time,
I'm not going to chat crap, am I? Like, Daniel Levy knows what he's doing. He gets money. The amount of people, like...
That is true, though. That is true.
Levy's a good businessman. He knows how to make money.
Getting rid of players. Yes, he is.
He's good at selling for the He's good at selling for the most beneficial value to the club. It's the reverse part that he's got a bit of a problem.
I will say this on the Spurs front now. Kulusevski and Bentancur weren't their first targets, so they had to pivot a couple of times. They were going to go for Adama Traore, but then he went to Barca. Then they were going to go for Luis Diaz, but then he lost out and went to Liverpool. And now they had to pivot again, and they went for Kulusevski and Bentancur. So I'm not sure how it'll affect them fully, like squad-wise, going forward. But we'll see. I think they still have a decent chance of getting top four. And bringing two players in doesn't affect you, harm your chances, really.
Did you hear how much Traore's earning?
No.
Shock. So he was offered 120 grand a week at Tottenham, and he took 50 grand a week at Barcelona.
I mean, it's Barcelona at the end of the day.
Normally you'd think it'd be the other way around, though, wouldn't you? Like,
you would.
You would. But Barcelona, I think he wouldn't think that he would have got a chance again because he was there before. Anywhere. Yeah. So if you have Barcelona and Tottenham on the table, no offense to Tottenham, as much as they're paying, and you've been at Barcelona before and you want to go back, that's where you're going to go.
And he was from their academy as well, which makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
That plus also
But he doesn't seem like a typical
properly.
Barcelona player.
I did find it funny that non-league player rejected Tottenham. That was funny.
I couldn't agree terms.
The Lewis player. Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis.
Ollie Tanner.
Lewis. They pronounce it Lewis. Sorry, not Lou. That's
Ollie Tanner.
Lewis.
So,
I used to go down there anyway, so.
Quite amusing, that one, really. I mean, Austin, yes, you have to look at Tottenham. They had some failed transfers there, like Luis Diaz, like Traore, and you can't blame Traore for going to Barcelona, really. You know, Barcelona are in the Europa League, and, well, Diaz going to Liverpool. I mean, again, can you blame him?
No,
we've lost really. Abdi, just to let
we
you know.
We have lost Abdi. Yeah, Abdi will probably join us back in a little while. He's probably had a connection issue. But yeah, no. Do you know what? With Traore, I can never say his name right, but you know where I'm going with this. He's quite a funny man. He is. He's a very funny man. Yeah, there was this video I saw the other day where he puts baby oil on his arms to stop people from grabbing him.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
And I thought that was quite.
I got thinking there.
I thought that was quite entertaining. To be honest, I thought it would be something where, like, they would actually tell him off for that. Do you get what I mean? Like, because
it reduces the grip, doesn't it? So
I know, but it could come under interfering with play or something like that. Do you get what I mean?
No.
But yeah, like you said, obviously Tottenham did have a bit of a with transfers, but they still got the can't talk. Sorry. Obviously that Dijan can never. What's his second name? How'd you say his second name?
Don't ask me. Ask
Krunovsky.
That's it. Yeah. And then obviously the Rodrigo Bentancur as well. So I mean, 17.10 mil for Rodrigo from Juventus, not bad at all. So Dombele, I think it was his time to go, especially after the incidents that have occurred with him. So
especially one against Morecambe where he just warmed off.
Yes, especially the one with Morecambe.
The comment there from John, I think just to let people know, sorry, Austin.
Yeah.
Seriously, Dele Alli was worth 50 million a few years back. Mourinho killed him.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Not all the players, to be honest.
I could agree with that. We've got a couple of questions on there for later as well from John when we come to it. But yeah, no. On the terms of Dele Alli, good luck to him. Howard Wallowitz.
I hope he fucking fails.
Howard Wallowitz. Sorry, Brian Gill. Brian Gill. Obviously, we didn't see a lot of him, playing. I couldn't care less, to be fair. But we didn't see a lot of him. But good luck to him, I guess, in Valencia as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one. So yeah, that was Tottenham. We move on now. This might take us a while, but we'll get onto it.
Exactly what you say now.
We're gonna talk Arsenal here.
Yeah, do it.
Matt, Arsenal's transfer window was certainly. I mean, I don't know how much, as an Arsenal fan, how many players you expected to get, but certainly, the obvious impression there is it's definitely not what the Arsenal fans were hoping for.
Yeah. So I'll go back to the start of the summer. I initially laid out there's roughly 8 positions that needed filling up. And we only filled 5 up. One of them we didn't even really need. So I was expecting a striker and a striker or a centre midfielder to come in because we were light in that area. Nothing happened, and it continued to happen. And I think there was frustration all around. I'm sure George will feel the same way. I'm going to try and cut it short because I'm sure George will have a huge rant about it. But the fact that nothing was done and there was a load of outgoings and trimming that wage bill is a good thing. But at the same time, it's horrible to see that because now you're left with 18 considered senior players. So if there's injuries or a COVID outbreak in the squad, there's no guarantee that those games will go ahead at all now.
Interesting. Well, George, my friend, the floor is yours. I'm going to get comfortable and grab myself a pillow. Go ahead.
Give us all the
start.
chance.
John Gooner says George looks like Arsenal don't do business in January. No striker for the second half of the season. Jokers.
Yeah, cause I know we spoke on Twitter about this, John. Yeah, so I'm gonna say on here what I've said on Twitter, what I got abused for. I can understand the players we got rid of. Right, we'll go through them. Kolasinac, he was only good for one thing, that was sticking up for Mesut Ozil when he got robbed. Apart from that, he didn't do nothing. Pablo Mari didn't play football. He deserved playing time. Callum Chambers, got a lot of respect for Chambers. He never let us down, I don't think. So I'm a bit surprised with that, but I understand because we had to invoke his 1 year extension by December and we didn't. So he's gone to play with the Peaky Blinders and sit on the bench, whatever. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, crying like a little baby. Oh, I want to play in central midfield. Goes to Roma, first game he plays, right back. So, okay, Ainsley. And then, obviously, we come to best captain in the world, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Sorry, Aubameyang.
Your favourite.
The amount of disrespect he's shown it left me with a bit of taste in my mouth, to be honest. He had to go. We couldn't have someone there $300,000 a week just sitting playing FIFA. Do you know what I mean? Or playing around in his Ferrari, being on live streams with troops. No, we can't have none of that. So, so I understand that, but my only issue is that we didn't bring anyone in. And I understand people are going to say, "Oh, it's January." I get that. We've done half the job in the summer. Like where we brought in Rambo, Tomiyasu, Tavares, Sambi, Erdegaard, all that. Ben White, my man. How can I forget Ben? Nearly did. We just needed, like Matt said, we needed that central midfielder and centre forward because obviously we're battling for top four. I bet they're absolutely shitting themselves, all these other teams. We're seeing lack of threat and Edin Nketiah up front. Like, so, and then obviously midfield-wise, we've got Thomas Partey, whose cab fare was... he was in the taxi longer than he was on the pitch against Liverpool. And then we've got him. I struggle to even... I'm going to say it, granite liability Xhaka. Then he can be a good player, but God, what a liability he is. And then we've got El Sideways. So we're running out of options, really. Like Matt said, we've got about 18 players, if we're lucky. I still think Jack Wilshere is going to sign a dip. Like, I would not be surprised. I've got Arsenal all over it. It really has. Like, Edu's playing around with his bloody barbecue and doing whatever he's doing. And it was a very bad transfer window for me. I think it's one of the worst for me because it's a huge gamble. It's just like we look back at this. If we don't get top
say
four,
something for me, will you?
Yeah, well, if we do get top four with this squad, then Don Mikel is a genius. That's what I'm saying.
I would say it's more of a miracle on grass than anything else.
Yeah, like I don't really blame Arteta for the window. Like he came out a few weeks ago. I know I've had this conversation with you, Matt, and he said we're looking at players who are interested. All like we've said, the manager can only go so far. They could probably say, "I want this one, that one." But if Edu's said, because we don't know, it might be Ed could be him. But then obviously Silent Stan's more worried about the Super Bowl at the minute. So I don't know. I just don't trust our board, and everyone keeps saying, "Oh, wait till the summer." I don't trust them. And talking about trusting, the only person we bought was Austin Trusty. He's from Colorado Rapids. He's owned by Stan Kroenke, and his last name's Trusty, so trust the process. Why not?
God.
Well, yes.
Well, Max Werner.
Yes, so Austin, you're an Arsenal fan as well. Let's hear from you. I mean, the George's review was, well, you could say realistically damning, but that's because it was a disappointing transfer one. Yeah, you bought that one player. I mean, trusty. I mean, it's not exactly a signing everyone's going to be, banging on about.
And he's gone back on loan, so we don't even see him.
You're not going to see him.
He's a centre back as well. I swear, whoever's in charge of the transfer is every summer they're going, you know what? We need another centre back. Sooner or later, you could make a starting 11 of all centre backs with the amount of times that we've done him. Sorry, John's as well. He said, if we don't get a top 4, George, Arsenal will suffer. The youngsters may even go. Sorry, Arsenal.
I agree with that. Like I said, Saka and Martinelli got 2 years left. You can't. That's the worry for me.
Austin, what's your review?
They're not going to stay to go and play in Europa League or Conference League or have rivalries against Brighton, are they?
Our team could crumble. Our team could if we don't get top 4. Like,
I think top 5. Like
top 5 at least. Yeah, top 5 at least.
Some sort of European football.
Because obviously during the transfer window as well, like obviously there was rumours speculating, because obviously with us we always like to go for the youngsters. So we had that
sounds dodgy, doesn't it?
DJ Spence or whatever his name is, for Middlesbrough. Like that was a rumour. Yeah, so that was a rumour. So like obviously we always go for and then obviously we had the Bruno G, and we had all these possible rumours, and then it turns out we only actually made 2 signings or 1. Because I swear we had that
Max Turner as a goalkeeper.
Matt Turner. Like that's the thing. Why do we need another goalkeeper?
Because Leno's going.
I don't care if Leno's going. He's still at the club until the summer, so it could have waited. You know what I mean?
But I swear, I don't know.
My
name's not Edu, mate.
We shouldn't have bought a goalkeeper. Like many people have said, like Matt has said, like you have said, George, like so many people have said, we need to sort our midfield out. I remember about over a year ago, our problem used to be the defence. Now it's the bloody midfield. Give it next year, it'll probably be the strikers.
It won't be next year. We won't have no strikers. Both our strikers are going on a free.
Exactly. There you go. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang landed in Barcelona on the 31st of January. Landed in Barcelona. There was not even a deal sent or anything. He come out with, "I'm going to see family." Yeah, what a load of bollocks! What a load of bollocks! I don't care no more. You've been in Obama blood clot young. I don't care about your bloody name. Obviously, there's the question of, and John also asked this question. Why did Arsenal pay £7 million to get rid of Aubameyang?
Because you can't have a player who there's no point of return with that. You think we pay 7 million, but we save 25. He's on 300 and whatever grand a week.
Yeah,
you can't have someone who's flew out to another country, wanted to sign, done what Peter Odemwingie did the other year, and then come back to training. And I have seen on Twitter, obviously reliable sources, that there was actually a vote at Arsenal about getting rid of Aubameyang with a 25-man squad, and 22 of them said that he had to go. And 3 of the people that said he should stay was Granit Xhaka, surprise, Alex Lacazette, and Sead Kolasinac before he left.
Alex Lacazette's clearly going to say yes, stay, because those two are like best friends. Like, I'm
not really bothered about Aubameyang going. Thanks for the memories. But
cheers for the memories. Don't get me wrong.
The way he behaved, he had to go.
If he had carried on the way he had carried on before, like when he was playing really well for us, then maybe I'd be saying, "Do you know what? He
ain't done it since he signed a new deal."
Yeah, I would go and say, "Do you know what? I'm actually going to miss him." But to be fair, I think it's time for a new adventure. Like another comment from John. He's had the most comments so far. Top players won't come to Arsenal without Champions League on offer.
Yeah, I agree.
I could agree with any day of the week.
Some sort of European football to start with, but yes,
definitely. This is what I mean. Like, this is the thing. Like, there's a lot of Arsenal fans think that we can just like attract people like that back. We ain't got no European football. And I get the thing that bothers me, or not bothers me, but pisses me off is that we put a 58 million bid in for Alexander Isak day before the deadline day, but they wanted 75 million straight off release clause. So what? And we wasted so much time on what's his Vlahovic. Yeah,
that was a link to him. Yeah,
for ages, and that was so obvious that wasn't going to happen. That was like that. He was on the same plane as Higuain and Benzema. I'm still waiting for that plane to land. So I don't know. I'm not. What we have to try and get is a bit of reality, though. The squad that we have did get us into the top 4 at a part in this season, and I have been negative, but they did. So my message to Arsenal fans is: I know you're disappointed, but back the team. We've got Wolves on Thursday. I don't think we're getting top 4. I've said it. I said it was dead when we drew to Brexit FC, Burnley. But we're going to beat Wolves and Brentford and the other lot who are contenders for top 4 drop points. We have still got to play all each other. You never know, but if we can't get Champions League, we have to be in Europa League, and that's 5th for me. But there is players we can go and get. It's just it's our board. They don't. I think it was Matt I was talking to. We spent 120 million in the summer, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it was. We were basically, there was a bank loan of 150 million, so we basically paid roughly 120 million in transfer fees, and then the rest of it would have possibly been agent fees and etc.
But we've just got that back from all the wages and the players we've let go. That's what it feels like.
I've seen that comment around a lot. That basically Stan's pocketed that money back.
Yeah,
but perhaps because we had Champions League size wage budget on for so long. That was probably the problem.
Exactly. Like you can't have 300 grand a week. And
every season there seems to be a problem. It's we haven't fixed this, we haven't fixed that, which is why I genuinely thought we were going to go and buy out 8 players in the summer, and we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't buy anyone.
Yeah. See, this is what I've just seen on Twitter. So this is a list of players that Arsenal have let go for nothing. So and we've spent over 30 or 20 or 30 million on these players. So you've got Socrates, Kolasinac, Aubameyang. Who's the other one? There was like a few other ones.
Socrates was
Ozil. Like there's about 8 or 9 players, and it says it all. We're like a charity shop. Don't worry, we spend all the money, but don't worry, we'll give it back to you for free. I don't know. It's just. But then on a brighter note, Nicolas Pepe's back, so everything's good in the world.
Certainly an interesting window there for Arsenal. They're very, very damning, it seems. And
just to let you know, I'm back, by the way.
Oh, hello, Abdi.
Hello, I have been here listening. My phone apparently overheated, so that was fun.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen again.
Arsenal chat.
Yeah.
Before it.
Austin, have we got any more questions?
Yeah. So just one more comment from John again. Thank you, John. He put, we've got to back the team. Hopefully Arteta has got a magic wand. Top 6 will be realistic now.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
Don Mikel, John, believe in
the process.
Trust the trusty process.
Trust the process, and we'll see.
Isn't named Trusty?
Yeah. I mean, it's the ironic name. It has to be.
Garnasaurus is going to score the winner in the North London derby.
So let's move on to the next team then. Abdi, Aston Villa, not the most active team, but they certainly have, gotten some interesting players. They got, Callum Chambers from Arsenal. They got Luca Digne. Al Ghazi went to Everton. They sold Matt Targett to Newcastle. So what do you think of that transfer window for Villa?
I never got to talk about my favourite team, Arsenal. But no, that's fine. As for Villa, I think probably for me, they had one of the best windows that you could get in the Premier League for them. They brought in Felipe Coutinho on loan.
Oh yes, him as well.
Felipe Coutinho to Aston Villa. Who would have thought that? That's massive. So for them, it is massive. Getting rid of Target on loan, fair enough, because they brought in Dine, and Target probably wasn't going to get the first team minutes that he probably would want. So Dine was a good signing for them. He already put in the effect when he played for Everton against Everton the other week. So they're going to get more dead ball specialists in there. Who else did they bring in? I'm blanking. So they brought in Coutinho and
definitely
Digne.
Coutinho and
Is that it?
Yeah, and
but
Chambers.
For those two, Chambers, yeah, fair enough. But for those two, and then Chambers as a backup,
Coutinho
is
alone.
a very good window for them. Yeah, Coutinho alone with a buy option for 40 million. So we'll see how he does for them. But they are up there for me for one of the best windows.
He started well so far, Coutinho. You have to say.
He has. And as I said, what would happen on the podcast, he would score. He would score against us. So, and he did.
Well, he did.
Typical. But oh well, it's in the past.
Indeed, I mean, Matt, we had rumours. Coutinho obviously went to Villa to play under Steven Gerrard. Once you kind of saw that come out that it's going to happen potentially, you could see exactly why Coutinho wanted it. I mean, there was rumour of Luis Suarez doing exactly the same. Obviously, that was a bit of a wild one.
I think that's more for the summer.
Yeah, that could be for the summer. You never know. But yes, I mean, Matt Coutinho to Villa. I mean, how high can he help Villa get in the table, together with the other players?
Well, I think this is all about Steven Gerrard. The fact that he has such a pull on himself as a player that was formerly a player and now as a manager. The fact that he's gone to Rangers and he's gone and done things like break Celtic's title hopes with 10 in a row, going into Europe and playing against some of the best teams in the Europa League and going away and getting these results. He's done amazingly, and then to come into a window on the first bat and go and get Luca Digne, who, if he had stayed for 2 or 3 days, he would have probably been staying at Everton this window. But he'll be a good coup for them. He's great at crossing the ball in. He'll put in a decent performance for them week in, week out. For Coutinho, perhaps the shock of the window was him going to Barcelona within. I can't remember who else was linked with him, but if everyone just piles in and says there was this player and that player, team were in for him. They've done really well for themselves. I know with Newcastle it was a bit of difference, but I would say we've got a good question. What was the best transfer? I would have to say Philip Coutinho, because he will probably build up. He's got a performance level almost like Alexis Sanchez did for Arsenal. He will make them want to be playing in Europe next season. He won't accept like a 10th or 11th finish.
No, Coutinho is a determined player, and I think when he left Liverpool to go to Barcelona, we haven't seen much of the best of Coutinho really at times. He had a brief stint at Bayern as well, but at Villa he so far looks really good. I mean, George, when it comes to Villa, what do you think?
I think they had a good transfer window, to be fair. Like the people said, Dino and Coutinho are 2 good signings that could push them towards that Conference League position, maybe. Obviously, they had some good players anyway, didn't they? Like Martinez, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, Ollie Watkins, Danny Ings is back from injury now. So,
Buendia.
Yeah, Buendia. I'm not a huge fan of him, but
I mean, since Coutinho has arrived, he's sort of lit Buendia up a bit there. So, yeah.
But it's that bit like what Matt said, though. People like at Coutinho's quality, the other players are going to have to raise their game anyway to become a bit par with him. So that's what happened with Alexis at Arsenal when he was there. Before he started walking his dogs.
I mean, Austin, when it comes to Villa, Coutinho, of course, will inspire other players. They want to play with him well. But also, do you think these players can now take Villa to that Europa Conference League spot? I mean, yes, Villa were in bigger European competitions once, but coming up from the Championship a few seasons ago to potentially being in some sort of European football next season, surely that would be an improvement for Villa.
Oh, hands down. Like you said, they have been in big competitions before, but obviously for them to come up from Championship and then obviously next season with the possibility of going into some sort of competition, like whether it's the Conference League, I think that could be a very big step up for Villa, especially with Coutinho joining them as well, and Chambers and Lucas Digne as well. So it could be very interesting for Villa, and I guess in a way the fans might have something to look forward to.
Very good. Before we move on, Austin, have there been any other comments?
There has been another one from John about what Jules said about trusting the process. John has put, he does not trust the process anymore.
A lot of us don't trust that process anymore.
But why? On what ground? Because we ain't bought someone in January. Like Arteta's part of that process, and he's got us battling for top 4. So I'd like to understand why people don't trust that.
It's down to the fact. I don't think it's people that it's not down to Mikel Arteta. He gets the target. He gets, I want this, and say 5 targets, 5 positions, etc. Labeled. But it's the owners that's where this has come from. Trust this process. When Josh turned around and did that video and was trying to be all smiles and everything during the US tour a couple of years ago. But I just don't trust these owners anymore.
But yeah, I get that. But one summer and everyone's flip-flopped. So
the thing is,
in the summer, summer, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we spent 100 and whatever million. And the owners have backed us. They backed us once. Backed Arteta once, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, maybe." But the owners have done what they've done since they've got there from day one. Like Abdi and Abdi sense. Manchester United have shit owners as well. There's not much difference between the Glazers and the Cronkies. Like if there was an Adams family of football owners, that's them. Like all of them. Like I don't know if they're incestual with each other. Like I don't know what goes on, but I don't like. And the thing is, it'll change again because I'm not saying anyone here or anyone in the comments, but on social media it's the worst. So if Arsenal go, I'm just putting these names out there. If Arsenal go and sign Yuri Tillemans, Ruben Neves, Alexander Isak in the summer, everyone's going to say, "Oh yeah, look, they have backed the club." So
yeah, but there's still other areas that need to be addressed. You've got players that have been and gone. So let's say, for example, we get top 4 with that squad, and you go and buy 3 more players. That's 21. And then say you've got 4 more academy players that you decided to bring in on top of that. Would you be happy with that?
No, because for me, I think we need 5 minimum again.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have had to have done a job like that if they did buy someone in. I don't trust their board. Like, let's not get this twisted. I think the worst thing that's happened to Arsenal is between AFTV and the Cronkies, to be fair. But it does make me laugh when people say, I don't trust the process anymore. And Arteta does get thrown into that. I'm a big fan of Arteta. I know you're not, Matt. But for what he's had to deal with, I think he's done all right, to be honest. Like, all right, if we finish 7th, then I'll have to review my opinion. But I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think we'd be in the top 4 at any part of this season. Like, if people listen when we will be putting out a podcast, Arsenal was nowhere near that for me.
I think it's more. Sorry, Hubert. I know you probably want to move on from this. I think it's more where John says he don't trust the process, and obviously we're talking about the board and the owners and whatnot. I think where it's more the fact of they're part of the process, so in a way they can't trust the process because they're part of it.
But they've been there before the trust the process, right?
But they've been there before that whole thing, and like we've said, and obviously like the protest showed and whatnot about the Cronkays and whatnot. I think obviously with Cronkays being in charge of our club, it's obviously a big letdown. But you know, what can we do? We can't, you know. Obviously,
well, there's a lot we can do.
There is a lot that we can
People
do.
just choose not to. They'd rather be keyboard warriors and type, "Oh yeah, we shouldn't have this, shouldn't have that." If you really don't agree with it, do your protest. Like, no disrespect, Man United did, and look where that got.
We did what? We did 2 protests, and then we just stopped. Like, Man United done protests, carried on and on and on, and you know, something actually happened. Like,
I just don't think it's. I'm not saying I trust. Sorry about the dog noise in the background.
The dog's angry as well.
Yeah, the dog.
He doesn't trust the process.
Well, you know what? I said about 2 hours for this because we're going to have a huge lot of talk about Arsenal, and it's just.
I've never really truly understood what all this rubbish is. Trust the process anyway. Like, but I trust Arteta. For me, that's me. Every Arsenal fan's entitled to their opinion. I'm not Twitter. Just clarifying that. But
I don't like Twitter either.
I don't. The board and all that have done this for years and years, and Abdi, where he supports United, will know that as a United fan. So
sorry. It's just your dog really don't like the Cronkays, does he?
Yeah, he seems to have gotten very vocal.
Since we're speaking about Arsenal, from an outside point of view, I honestly didn't think he'll get top 4 this season. From if you said from the outset, I thought you would have had a decent enough season from making it back into Europe, because I thought that would have helped. But the way the season's gone, I'm surprised that you guys didn't make any moves in the January transfer window, because this is your best chance to get top 4 in a long time.
Like they're throwing it away, if I'm honest.
And I thought with the people that you're linked with as well, you're linked with getting half Melo and loan, you're linked with Bruno Guimaraes, and you're linked with Dusan Vlahovic as well. So you didn't get any of those players. You didn't bring anyone else in to help.
You know what? I'm just going to add to this a little bit. Sorry, Abdi. I'll let you finish, and then I'll go back to my point.
But okay. I thought it's kind of stupid not to take the opportunity to try and make the top 4 and take that chance. But yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for you guys now as well. Judging by the way the schedule is for February, because you guys only play twice this month, whereas United play 5 times. So you guys will have four games, well, 7 actually in all competitions, but 5 league games. You guys will have, probably. You guys will have 3 games in hand, or 4 games technically in hand
and
over us.
Costa.
So if we go and win all of those games, I won't say we will, because I highly doubt we will. But if we get enough points on those boards and kind of stretch away from you guys, it kind of does. When you look at it on paper, it's a bit demoralizing for a team to be like, oh, look how far they are from us. So it's kind of stupid that they didn't take the opportunity to make that chance, make the transfers and bring anyone in. But with the way this season's going, with games in hands and all that stuff, the table is in a weird sort of state of flux, really. Yeah. So no one's really in the position where they really should be, based off the amount of games everyone's played. So I won't say it's the fairest of situations, but you have to make do with what you got.
Yes, it is what it is, isn't it? To be fair, if you mentioned, is it Arthur Melo or whatever?
Yeah.
So a bit of stuff that's come out of sources like Chris Wheatley and Charles Watts, and Charles Watts kind of knows
Good
what
old
he's
Chris
on
Wheatley,
about.
friend of the channel, Chris Wheatley as well.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say Chris Whitty. Oh, what?
No, he's
No,
signing.
he's very
He's signing next week with Boris.
Presentation's on point.
There was an 18-month loan deal proposed for Arthur Melo, which Edu was pushing for, but Richard Garlick, the bread man,
Richard Garlick,
above that, vetoed that and didn't. That's why that deal didn't go through, according to Charles Watts. But you know what? I kind of agree with that, because you bring someone in for 18 months. If they're absolute shit for 6 months, you're like, oh no, we're stuck here, haven't we? So, I think it's a similar situation to your team, mate. I think off the pitch, the clubs are run by a bunch of clowns.
Yep.
And it's just like Edu. I'm not a huge fan of Edu. Great player when he was an Invincible, but yeah, that's as far as it goes for me. And then Josh Kroenke telling me to be excited. Yeah, I'm really excited when I'm seeing flipping Fulham buy more than my club. So yeah, cheers, Josh. Hope you're watching.
Yeah, just to add to Aldi, he was talking about the top 4 race. I feel like it's almost like a hot potato. Or remember when you were a kid and it was pass the parcel and the music would go on.
Yep.
It's almost like
no one wants it.
Is passing it. Yeah, and no one seems to want it. So one week you got teams losing ground, and you're expecting them and the others to catch up. Next minute they don't, because they've lost their game. So it's just
It's like I was saying to you, though, we've all got to play each other. All it takes is Arsenal to win 2 of those games against 5th or 6th, or vice versa. Like Abdi said, if they win their games, they've got it. I have said I think Man United have got it, but then I have said I thought it was Tottenham to lose just because of games in hand. But I don't know. I don't think West Ham are in it, but
I think West Ham, they tried to bring people in, but it just didn't work, and I feel like they could slip away.
All I'm going to do is say Alex Lacazette absolute useless, so then hopefully he scores on Thursday.
I mean, like we said,
not this Thursday, next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Right,
as we said,
this Thursday, that's fine.
Yeah, I think I said on the previous show, it was on the show I mentioned on the podcast, where I said, the last time you really moaned about Lacazette, it was the fixture Wolves Arsenal in Project Restart. So you never know, that could happen.
Don't get me wrong, I'm going to the Molineux, because obviously, even though I've had a moan about this club, I'll back them to the hilt. Like,
oh, good, that's what you should.
I'll be at the rest of the games, and like I said earlier on the show, these players got us into 4th place at one part in this season, so we do need to remember that.
Credit where credit's due, I think.
But we needed players. But yeah, let's move on.
I think we found our contributor for next week. It's called George's dog.
Yeah, I was going to say he needs to come on the show more regularly, mate.
It's better than Harry Redknapp's dog, isn't it?
Ask him
down for a transfer.
We'll see what the doggy thinks.
Just quickly, sorry. John has commented again saying, with 2 comments.
Yeah.
One is, what actually is the process?
Obviously, centre half from American team.
And then another one, it was Off Point. He is recommending to watch a Netflix documentary. I Believe in Miracles, it's called. It says that you'll love it. It's about how a mid-table team from the Championship won the league and the European Cup. The legend Brian Clough, excellent.
Class.
I will double check to make sure that's out, because I've been waiting to watch that for a long time.
Yeah.
That's an interesting documentary. Right. So quickly, we're going to run through some additional stuff. I mean, Abdi, I want to, obviously me and you talk about briefly about, first the United transfer window. First of all, are you disappointed? Did you expect anything?
Yeah.
What's
very disappointed. He was supposed to go on loan, but he turned it down because he wasn't sure of playing time. So he was like, nah. But everything else was green lit and go.
So United,
he could have had fun in Bordeaux, but he turned it down. So we've loaned out we loaned out Ahmad to Rangers. He's currently playing the Old Firm derby, so I don't know what the score is, but hopefully he's doing well in there.
Yes,
we
come on,
loaned
Celtic, 3-0.
Well, that tells you all it is. Yeah. Not fun.
I think
not fun.
I might have misread that, Ron. Actually, I just heard 3-0.
Hopefully it's 3-0
Yeah,
Rangers.
Celtic are winning 3-0 at the moment.
Take that, Rangers.
That's not good.
on.
All right. Hey, okay. Well, that's not good.
Not good at all.
Brilliant.
Martial, he's been loaned out to Sevilla. Martial's been a mixed bag really. This season, he hasn't really had that much playing time, and many fans have their own opinions about him. There's sections of our fan base that will back him to the death, really. Martial FC, and there's other sections that don't like him and they think he's overrated and all that. And then there's me. I'm sort of in the middle. I'm just like, I like him, but he can be. Me? No, I'm not. I do like Martial. And I've always backed Martial, but I'm not aggressive in the way that I do it like Martial FC do it, because they are crazy. Like if they come for me, I don't care. But they are crazy. They need to chill with the amount of backing they give that guy. But yeah, who else did we get rid of? Yeah, it's not been ideal. Donny on loan. He
got rid of that centre half, wasn't it? Mengi
went out. Axel went out as well to Napoli. They weren't going to get game time anyway, so it's fair enough. And we didn't bring anyone in the midfield. The midfield was the most important area for us, and we were like, no. And Ralph.
Where does that sound like?
Sorry. Yeah. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Apparently, we were offered Boubacar Kamara from Marseille, but in the last few days of the transfer window, but we turned it down, of course, because we don't want to make any signings apparently for some reason. Yeah, and the reason they're giving is sorry.
Could that be because of the manager though?
Yes, it is. The reason they're giving is because we don't have a manager and they don't want to make any signings until a new manager is appointed. But they couldn't give a midfielder to help Ralph, so and the Lingard situation, we didn't let him go out on loan, it would have been basically a termination of contract, not exactly termination, but there's 6 months left on his deal. He's not going to re-sign with us, so effectively he leaves, he's gone, and we didn't go for it because we're kind of stupid. I don't know why, but.
I think we do know why.
No, that's an excuse. I don't believe for a second it's an excuse. Ralph gave him his blessing to leave, but the board overruled him, and that's a no-go. I don't like that. So, yeah, feel sorry for Lingard, but at the same time, he has been posting pictures on Instagram of him in like West Ham kit and all that. And when you play for a club, I don't care if they're like what's going on, but you don't post yourself in another club's kit as well. Just go like that.
They were not their own personal life.
They are, but okay. Would you accept? No, it's a similar situation to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He was complaining on Instagram, and George had to go at him. He was saying, I want to play in the midfield, and he just wants to play his football. Lingard wants to do the same thing, so why can't we complain about him doing it? I sympathise with Lingard in terms of I want him to go and be free and play minutes. But at the same time, you shouldn't be doing that on Instagram. And his brother was like, his brother was posting stuff as well on Instagram. I can't remember what he said, but it was something about being locked up and being in prison and all that stuff. So,
Ron Man United player for that one.
Okay,
that's bad to happen. Okay, but yeah,
it was bad. I was just waiting for that to mention.
Moving on swiftly.
Yeah. But I agree with Abdi with the Lingard thing. Like I said, the same thing about Maitland-Niles. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not two-faced. You can't be doing that. If you play for a club, you play for that club. If he wants to wear a West Ham top in his private life, that's up to him, whatever. But not. He didn't do that. He done that to get a reaction. And if anyone says he didn't, then just smoking the funny stuff.
But yeah, no, I feel like we needed to bring someone in the midfield because we're a bit light now.
And you'll get right though in the summer.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. It's a lot of money that West Ham are going to be asking for. I'm not sure about paying all of that money up front because fingers have been burnt about buying an English player. Huh?
Over 10 years at Arsenal done with Pepe or whatever.
You can, but fingers have been burnt about buying players who are English for 80 million. So, yes. But summer-wise, I hate that they program us to think January, we're not going to do anything. We're going to link you to all of these players. We're going to put the spin out. But it's always about the next one, the next thing, and the next thing. It's never about the here and now.
Arsenal.
I support United.
It sounds like everything I'm going through at Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. It's always the next thing rather than the here and now. And they don't. And the thing, this is the thing. United and Arsenal need to be concerned because there is a small team, or not a small team because that's disrespectful, but a big team. No, not them.
No, definitely not big team. Sorry, mate.
A big team in the near future coming behind them, known as Newcastle United. No, Newcastle. They're going to be splashing the cash. No. They're going to be splashing the cash, and they're going to be up there, eventually taking that spot. So less space for United and Arsenal to sort of fight for that top honours in that. If we don't move with the times, effectively, and if we stagnate the way we are, it's going to be a tough time for us.
A quick thing, you mentioned in Newcastle. I don't know if anyone saw it, but so do you know? Is it Bruno? What's his name? Not Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Guimaraes or whatever.
Victoria Guimaraes, whatever his name is.
Bruno.
So apparently, if they get relegated, he can leave for 25 million. So imagine, you can imagine it. Like, this is the sort of thing Arsenal and Man United would do. So Newcastle go down, we'll go, all right, we'll have Bruno. Cheers.
No, I don't think United will do that.
Well, we're
not smart enough. You probably would, but we're not smart enough to do something like that.
I don't know. I know what you're saying. But,
he said it. He said it on live. He said it. Man United are not smart enough. He said it. That's stuck on the internet.
No, because he knows that they've got the Glazers.
Unrealistic.
Stupid.
Yeah.
We literally our board is incompetent. Our whole our owners are incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. Ed Woodward he left yesterday officially. He was gone. But,
sad?
We've got his no, I'm over the moon. But we've got the B-Tech Woodward now as well. His best buddy from uni days.
At first, I thought you said you got the Beatles.
No, I wish we had the Beatles. They would have some good music.
You don't want the Beatles. They're all Liverpool fans, as far as I'm aware.
No, that was yesterday.
This one's got, they've got some. The one they've got now is off wish.com. It's all good. Right.
Come on, Austin, let it be, will you?
Yeah.
There we go again.
Yeah.
You could sign Eleanor Rigby. And that's it. I'm done now.
Yeah, come on now.
Anyway, as I said,
because the next
we
one
need
I
to
can
be
think of,
careful.
we don't want to remind Man United fans of that.
Yeah. Hey, we got revenge on them. They got it when it mad, but either way.
Yeah, well, the Chelsea's transfer window. Yeah, we got Emerson back. Yeah,
I didn't even know he was back.
Yeah,
they never made a big fuss about it. It was quiet. Yeah, exactly.
Very quiet. We don't know much else has happened.
It's not through the back door.
Mauricio was always all over that, but he never said a thing.
Yeah, I completely missed Emerson. I think he's a good player. But,
he's a good player. I mean, we need, cover for Chilwell is what we need.
I saw your youngster went. Is it Lewis Baker?
He's
not a youngster anymore. He's
not a youngster, 26. But
I thought he went in the summer, didn't he? No, actually, he did go in the. I can't remember where he's gone.
He was meant to play against us in the under 23s, but they'd sold him.
I can't remember where he's gone, but yeah, he did go.
Championship team, Stoke.
Yes, that's the one. Stoke.
Don't play with Ian Wright's grandson.
Yes. Still shocked at that one. So not much of a transfer window for Chelsea. Right, a few other transfers I want to quickly run through. One of them being Aaron Ramsey, George, the great legend of Arsenal, going to Rangers.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet thing for me because I don't like Rangers because obviously my Scottish team's Celtic, but he didn't really have a choice. When I heard the rumour, so Abdi was telling me this because we covered the deadline day stuff on the groups and that, and I heard that he might be going to Burnley, and I was like, no.
I heard that he could be going Newcastle.
No, he won't.
It was
everyone was thinking with Newcastle at one point.
Yeah, I was going Newcastle at one stage.
Aubameyang was supposed to go to Newcastle at one point.
Yeah,
he preferred the flight to Spain.
The Aaron Ramsey situation was the best quiz show because he was at a private airport and there was like 3 different planes he could have got on, and it was like, which one's he going to get on?
Is
it the public to vote for it?
Is it B or is it C?
It was a better move for Ramsey. Like, well, it's a good move for Rangers, to be fair. I don't know. I don't think he's playing tonight. I don't know.
It might be a bit soon, but yeah.
But
I don't know.
He needed to play football, regular football, because obviously Rangers, bloody hell. Wales have got Scotland, haven't they?
They could do.
So.
Yeah,
yes,
and I find that really funny. Like the best player for Wales is playing his trade in Scotland, so yeah, there's a bit of irony there. So I wish Ramsey all the luck in the world. He's probably one of the only Arsenal players that I was absolutely gutted when we let him go. Like I was at his last game. Nearly brought tears to my eyes. Like it was that hard to So I loved Ramsey, to be fair. So good luck to him. I think he'll set the SPL on fire, to be fair. He's a good player still. Didn't realise he was only 30 though. I thought he was that old, wasn't it? But 30, 31. So yeah. Good luck, Rambo.
Yes, that was an interesting one. The other transfer I want to mention quickly, Matt, Christian Eriksen, after what he's been through, we've all seen what happened in the Euros in that Denmark Finland game, I think it was, and he's now back playing football for Brentford for the 6 months. What a good deal for Brentford, and what hopefully a good revival for Eriksen.
Unfortunately, you're giving me the best player for the wrong club. I do not like Brentford in the slightest. But unfortunately, they've got themselves they're fake bees. They turn around and say they're the only bees in London. No, they're fake bees. They don't play anywhere near London. Get out.
He sounds like me about Burnley.
Wow.
Anyway, I think Eriksen coming back to the Premier League in itself, and the fact that he's made a return to football itself is almost like Hollywood style sort of script that you see. This is almost like a goal 5 or a goal 4 if you wanted to put it into film.
We'll give you extras.
The only topping on the top of this cake, and this is one that I would not like, is if Brentford go and win the FA Cup. And then Christian Eriksen's finally got a trophy in England.
Hey,
I like that. That was the slightest little dig at Tottenham. I like that.
Very well put. Very well. Just
you can tell that he's my mate.
Not as subtle as your deep hatred for Brentford, but subtle there.
Yes, deep hatred for Brentford, but if he picks up a trophy, then they still want one more than Tottenham. So
wouldn't it be even better if Brentford done Tottenham in the final? And Eriksen scored the winner.
Winner of penalty or something. Make it even worse.
Actually got penalties and Eriksen scores the winning penalty.
Yeah,
I was going to make a really deep joke then, but I thought I better not.
No. So hopefully, with Eriksen, I think, like Matt said, it's just more forget about anyone else, any club that he's come back from to even survive that in general. But to be playing football. No, good luck to him.
Exactly.
Quick random question, Abdi. Burnley, you say something about Burnley and Chris
Yes.
Wood. I saw this and I want you to go back to this. You said Burnley got the better end of it or something. What did you exactly say?
Thank you for coming to me with this
you did say
one.
this,
I was hoping you would.
I left this to the end because I really want to hear this. What is this?
Dirty Burnley. Ooh.
They got my boy, the 6'6" Dutch beast, Wout Weghorst from Wolfsburg. Wout Weghorst. Wout Weghorst. I'll say it 3 times. Yeah, I'll say it 3 times to you. That is my boy from Wolfsburg. He just, I don't know how, but FIFA, he always seems to end up at Burnley for some reason.
Oh, it must be.
It's happened in my career mode. I haven't been playing him with Burnley, but it's happened on Goldbridge's one as well. I've seen it a couple of times. It just pops up.
There you go.
But yeah, no, beforehand.
The
No. Let me finish. But why I say he's a better deal for Burnley over Chris Wood? They got 25 million for Chris Wood, and they spent what 6 million for Weghorst, and he's a better striker. He's bigger. Come on, it's a win-win situation for Burnley. And he's younger. He's much younger.
Mm.
So he's a proven goal scorer as well.
Sure?
Yeah. What?
How old do you think Chris Wood is?
It's like 28, 30, around there.
Ain't that geezer 29?
No, isn't he like 25, 26?
I swear they said he was 29.
Let me double.
Austin, can you fact check that, please?
Hmm.
But yeah, no.
If I'm wrong, I apologise.
Weghorst, how old is he?
29.
Oh, is he 20? Oh, okay, well, fair enough. Might take that back. My apologies. I saw somewhere he was like 25 or 26 for some reason.
Yeah, he was 4 years ago.
Well, you are wrong, Abdi. You are wrong.
Ah, well, it happens. I hold my hands up and I apologise. But anyway, yeah, exactly, now and again. But yeah, no, I do think Burnley got the better end of the deal with this one. So, yeah, Newcastle thought they got one over on them, but Burnley pulled one back out. So hopefully they can stay up as well. Because Premier League just wouldn't feel right about Burnley.
No.
It just wouldn't feel right about Burnley.
Abdi's become a Burnley fan in disguise.
I'm not. We're playing them next week, so I hate playing them, but still.
God, get rid.
Nah, Burnley are staying up.
There's no
If they beat us next week, I'm going to be sad, though. I'm not going to be happy. But,
I'll
still.
be happy because they're you. It's your lot, and you're competing against us.
That's it.
Can I just talk about Burnley? Because obviously, Abdi's been kiss ass
we know you're
for
hating
the last 2 minutes.
No. We don't want to hear it. No negativity.
There's
We've had the
no
negativity
point.
for one. We've had enough negativity on this stream for one night. So leave it at that.
Of Burnley.
Leave
Tell
it
me
at
a point.
Have you had a traumatic experience at Burnley, George?
He has.
Anyway. Like,
they drop points to them. That's
no
why. He's salty.
Yeah, that's probably
He's
why.
salty. He's salty.
I'm not salty. Calm down.
You're salty. You're salty.
I'll just put it out there now. He's a good player. 6'4", if I get that right. 6'4", 6'6", something along those lines. So they're getting a similar sort of player.
No, Chris Wood's small. He's 6 foot. Chris Wood's only 6 foot, and that was a target man. Imagine pinging balls onto the head of a 6'6" beast.
They've just brought in a Dutch Andy Carroll. That's all they've done.
He's better than Andy.
He ain't going to do nothing. He's not going to score against Man
United.
We'll see. Man United are going to go and smash it.
No, shut it. Anyway, no, none of that. Anyway, have we got any comments in? Yeah,
I was going to comment before George.
Not you.
Burnley.
We only had one comment, and that was from John saying, "Good stream, fellas."
Oh, thank you, John. Thank you for your contributions, everybody.
In the comments.
Fantastic.
And Carlos, I think.
Carlos as well. John and Carlos, thank you very much. Yes, well, we're wrapping up that one. Burnley,
get rid of Burnley. That's how we end it.
I get the point, yeah.
Right. Is the man.
Oh, you Burnley fan in disguise, eh?
I'm not.
Right.
I'm not. I'm a Weghorst fan.
Oh,
I'm a Weghorst fan, okay? Weghorst FC. I'm starting that now.
Yeah. Hashtag Burnley out. That's what I'm starting.
Anyway.
Yes, well, thank you everyone for tuning into this live show. Yes, everything went pretty well, I'd say, as well as it could have.
Just to pre-warn you, if you think that's mad, we are just a mad bunch of people that like football. So the more people that contribute, or if you're interested in coming on, please definitely let us know. Everyone is more than welcome.
Follow us everywhere.
Burnley fan.
Follow us. Well, Burnley fans are also welcome.
Leave Burnley alone.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at official Mania, please. Follow us there. Look at all the various news and scores that we do. We've got Facebook group, we've got WhatsApp, we've got Discord, we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram. What else would you like? Well, as
you name it.
Podcast. And of course, as you're watching, we've got a YouTube channel. Press the thumbs up on this, subscribe to the channel, click that bell to get the notifications sent to you, and tell your friends. Right, everyone.
Where, before we go, let the people know where everyone can find you personally. Hubert, what's your Twitter handle?
Yes, you can follow me if you wish to look at my rants at Subsonics UK. That's SUBSONIX UK.
Austin?
Abdi? Oh,
Mine is at Sullivan Austin, but there's
Here we go.
three
That's three
L's.
L's.
There's three L's instead of two
Dyslexic.
L's. Like,
absolutely. That
It's
confused
fine.
everyone.
It's fine. Yeah. Matt,
I
what's
accidentally
your
put
handle?
three L's.
Matt, what's your handles?
So my handle is at MattLR28, capital and LLR, just so everyone knows.
You spat that out, didn't you, man?
Yeah. Do you want to repeat that, please?
Matt's had enough.
28.
Matt's like, I'm out. George.
Gorgeous George.
Can you tell?
I might actually get it right this time. So it's at George S 1993 AFC. You see me, you'll probably see me floating around all these other places, but so feel free to follow. And there was something else I was going to say also, but it's completely out of my head because of everyone just rambling on.
By any chance, was it fuck Burnley?
Yeah,
no. I'm over Burnley.
Also, one more thing. You can find all the links to all of our social platforms via our link tree, which is posted in our banner on the top of our YouTube page. So give that a click. You'll find all of our socials on there.
Abdi, what's your Twitter handle as well? Because we've not given yours.
You can follow me on
Burnley
Twitter
FC.
at... Shut it. Shut it. No, you can follow me on Twitter at aabdullahi26, at AABDULLAHI26.
And
Thank
I have
you.
2 consonants, please.
Is that your 3 L's, Abdi?
That's 2 L's, not 3.
Sure.
I can count.
Right.
The countdown clock just began while he was.
To be fair, Sullivan Austin with 2 L's was taken by someone who's not even called Sullivan Austin.
Exactly. I had no.
His name is Sean. Sorry, I exposed you live on YouTube.
Right.
Sean.
Anyway, big shout to you if you're watching. Thank you everyone for coming and watching. Come back again.
Thank you. Really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
And
Bye-bye.
thank you to everyone who's dream.